to Ashland High School, where the Arrows are looking to defend their home court versus the invading West Holmes Knights. This OCC showdown is streaming to you directly on your smartphone, TV, tablet, or computer. And it all comes to you next.
Here we go now.
Here we go now. Here we go now.
Instead of paying for some big-name spokesperson, Kasasa Checking gives that money back to you in cash rewards. In fact, it just bought me this cup of coffee. See how that works? Amazing! Free checking, cash rewards. Take back banking with Kasasa.
I got 2 feet on the ground, head flying in the clouds. It's just the little things, all of the little things. Hands up in the sky, it's all gonna be alright. It's just the little things, all of the little things. It's love little things, love little things.
And where? What do you say? The exclamation point on the night for Maurice Ware.
I wish you happy, happy, happy New Year. I wish you happy, happy, happy New Year. You wish me happy, happy, happy New Year. You wish me happy.
Hello and welcome to Ashland High School. Storm Blunchley joined by the illustrious Effie James this time. And Effie, it's always a pleasure to have you on the OH Report crew, but I don't know if I've had the pleasure of calling a basketball game with you yet this year.
No, I don't think we have, Storm. It's going to be an exciting night. I'm glad we got this game because I think it's going to be a good one.
Definitely, and we're going to take a look at I think our beautiful faces here for a second. Adam Thompson sandwiched right between us this holiday season. You know, it's the season of love, I think. So, you know, it's always good to have our director right by us.
Right.
And, Effie, just give me your initial thoughts on this one. Ashland sitting at 6-2, West Holmes at 1-2, of course, because of the shortened warm-up they've had because of their terrific football season.
Well, I think the key is, like you just said, it's about West Holmes getting the feel of the game. They've only played 3 games so far this season, so it's really about them getting their basketball legs and getting a chance to play. Now, this is their first league game, so it's important for them. This is an important game for West Holmes, so they have to come in ready to play. They've got 3 games under their belt, so they've got to be prepared for the Ashland Arrows and Luke Denbow, who can bring a lot to the table.
Yeah, definitely. As we get into our keys to victory for the West Holmes Knights, it's going to be kind of difficult for them. It's always difficult, your first league game, still trying to get your feet under yourself. But, I mean, really got to kind of push the tempo, keep, Ashland tired, and, of course, limit Luke on offense.
Well, and that's a big key. We listed that first because if you can limit Luke Denbow offensively, that's a lot of the Ashland firepower. So if you can limit him offensively and limit his points and his facilitating ability, you're going to be able to have a chance. But they can't do that if they let Denbow score lots of points tonight. So it's key that they limit him and get out and run. Even though they may not be in the best shape, they've got to be able to push these Ashland Arrows, who, if they have one of their weaknesses, might be some depth this year on this year's roster. So West Holmes has got to get out and run and give it what they have tonight.
And it's not even so much about shutting him down completely. Luke Denbow's going to go out and get his. You just have to kind of limit it, make someone else beat you as we get into the Ashland Arrows keys of the game. Of course, they want to feed Denbow, crash the glass, and of course, Luke Denbow, our key player, 4th in points in school history for his career with 1096.
Well, of course, and Denbow is the key, and even though we know he's a prolific scorer, scoring is a big part of what he does, but just being on the floor causes problems for other teams. So they are going to have to get him the basketball, let him facilitate, and then get second shot opportunities by crashing the glass.
And we actually have a special graphic here tonight, our Luke Denbow player spotlight, straight shooters. Look at the top 4 list for the Arrows in scoring for a career. I mean, wow. Luke Denbow 4th, then Garrett Denbow. Luke only needs 12 points to pass. I believe that's his relative, Garrett Denbow, for points on the season. Right. So he's joined an elite list.
Well, I remember all those guys on that list. All those guys are real scorers. I actually played against Chad Honecker in my playing days. He was an awesome shooter, and Isaac White, who sits at number 1, is an unbelievable player. So he's got a lot of great players ahead of him, but he's a great player himself.
All right, I'm going to take a second here to listen to our national anthem. Into the booth now and continuing our Janney pregame. Next up, we will take a look at our team spotlight for the West Holmes Knights. And as we see their head coach, Don Hall, last game they lost 59-58 in a tough a non-league matchup. Don Hall, OCC Coach of the Year last season, and they finished 3rd in the conference last year behind Ashland and Worcester.
Well, absolutely. They Coach Hall runs a really good program, and I got a chance to speak with him a little bit before the game, and he admits that they got off to a late start. They had a deep football run. He said, I want to take as much time as we could getting our kids ready, but he understands that this is a big game. And I asked him, I said, well, how good are you? He said, well, right now, I'll be honest with you, we're not very good, but he looked at me and said, we will be. So, that tells me a lot about what he thinks of his team and what their prospects are this season.
Continuing now into our Ashland Arrows team spotlight for them, 6-2 this season so far, off to a pretty good start. Lost their last game, however, to Buckeye Valley 63-61, another close one. Returning OCC Player of the Year and an All-Ohioan in Luke Denbow finished second in the OCC last year by just one game to those Worcester Generals, and their lone OCC loss came to Lexington on December 3rd of 2021. And if you missed that one, you can check it out right here on the OH Report.
Well, and for the Arrows, it's this is a big game for the league standings, and this league down the stretch, this league is going to be tough, and having to go through the different teams they're going to play senior high next week. So the league is going to be tough, and it is going to come down once again, like it did last year. It's going to come down to who gets the wins down the stretch in the last couple weeks of the season.
We're going to take a look at our starting lineups now. First, starting off for Ashland, going to take a look at West Holmes. Blake Morrison at guard. We're going to take one more look at those West Holmes Knights starting lines up. Starting off with guard Blake Morrison, Channer Wells, Xander Schultz, Brock Zimmerly, and Mason Wolf, rounding things out, number 23 at forward. Now we're going to switch gears, take a look at the home court Arrows starting lineup for you guys tonight here on the Janney pregame show. Landon McFrederick at guard, Camden Mowry at guard as well. Luke Denbow, the star at forward, Grayson Sturi at guard, and Luke Djurdjevic at forward. So used to having Garrett by me, accidentally called you Garrett there, Effie, but this should be a pretty good OCC matchup.
Yeah, and it will be. I think the unknown for the West Holmes Knights is going to be key here for Ashland. They've got to come out ready to play. There's not a whole lot of film study that Coach Hess and his staff would have had available against West Holmes, so they're going to have to really go out and play hard, and one of the hardest things to do sometimes when you got a team that's got some, they've already got 8 games under their belt, is to come out and play hard, not wait to see how hard the other team is going to play. So that's going to be the challenge for Ashland tonight, and for West Holmes, it's going to be about trying to pick up that first league win in their first attempt. So this is a big night for OCC play and for these two teams.
The Ashland Arrows home gymnasium is packed tonight for this big OCC matchup. Jump ball moments away here in the first quarter. We've got Schultz taking on Djurdjevic. Tip goes in favor of the West Holmes Knights, and we're underway. Morrison, one of the leading scorers for the West Holmes Knights, has it on the close corner, gets it over to Wells. I believe he's the other leading scorer here for the West Holmes Knights early in their season. Well,
and Morrison and Wells are going to give, they're going to be the bulk of the scoring tonight, so they're going to be people that the Arrows are going to have to account for defensively as the Knights are running this motion offense to try to get the ball moving, and they give up a steal.
Luke Denbow clear the path for takeoff, easy layup, and that's chipping into that 2 points that he needs to get to third on the all-time scoring list for the Arrows.
And Luke Denbow jumped in, was able to get that steal, and right away you can see his quickness. He's got plays with quick hands, quick feet. Just a really good all-around basketball player, and he has a great feel for the basketball.
Three-point attempt on the way from Schultz. Rebound collected. Denbow deep outlet pass all the way down to Sturi, and that's another easy layup. So Ashland looking to get out in transition early.
And the defensive end is what's happening for Ashland right now. They're able to grab the rebound, kick it out, and West Holmes a little slow getting back defensively.
West Holmes once again trying to crack this Ashland defense, trying to find their first points of the night. Morrison has it left wing, trying to work it down low into the post. Wolf, backdoor cut by Morrison. Three-point try on the way. Jeffries. No good. Rebound by Sturi. Ashland looking to set up their first half-court set of the night.
You know, and one thing about West Holmes Knights, when you don't have a lot of time to practice, you don't have a lot of time to run through offensive sets and set screens, so they do look a little rough as they get a tip out of bounds. Ashland's going to keep possession, but they do look a little rusty offensively. But those things will come as you play games. Right now, Coach Hall just wants them to play with energy, and keep the ball moving.
And Effie, how long do you think into the season or into a game do you think it takes for that rust to wear off for a team who's only played around 3 games?
Well, it depends. It really depends on the team, and it really moreover depends on the senior leadership. As West Holmes misses another 3, it depends on the senior leadership and how quickly those guys can get out of what I call get into their basketball legs and out of their football legs.
Hustle right there from Morrison. He dives on the ball, gets the ball to Wells. Terrific strip from Sturry as he's able to stop that layup attempt, and the student section goes wild.
Wow, and Wells going strong, quick hands right there by Sturry. Was able to look like all ball, knock that ball out of bounds.
Schultz kicks it over to Wolf. Back up top to Schultz. Drives to his left in the lane. Floater. Too strong off the backboard. Fight for the rebound. Tried to save that one is Denbow. It's going to be last touch by...
Yeah, I think they're going to overturn this one. I don't think he saw Denbow grab it there at the end.
Yeah, Denbow definitely touched that one before it had a chance to touch the ground. So West Holmes going to retain possession. Going to have a baseline out of bounds play to set up.
Well, you can see right away, Storm, that Morrison is really aggressive, and another turnover by West Holmes.
Denbow all the way to Cup on the other end. Yeah, West Holmes really went for it all right there. Tried to go for the out-of-bounds alley-oop play, didn't connect, and it ended up being a Ashland quick 2-pointer.
Well, right now, all of Ashland's points, all 6 points are coming off of 3 West Holmes turnovers. So West Holmes has got to take care of the basketball because, right now, other than those turnovers, they're playing them even.
Wells has it. 3-point try now for Morrison. No good again. Denbow looking to push the tempo, gets it up to Sturry. He goes all the way inside. Foul call. He's going to get 2 opportunities at the free throw stripe.
Yeah, and again, Ashland is really trying to get out in transition and test this West Holmes transition defense. And West Holmes, a point of emphasis for Coach Hall has got to be get back defensively. They have given up layup opportunities, and this time they give up a foul. Just off of their transition defense. So they've got to do a better job of getting back because the Arrows are looking to push the ball up the court by the pass.
Sturry able to knock down his first attempt at the free throw line, gets his second to go as well. West Holmes still looking for their first bucket on our Sutton Bank scoreboard. Ashland looking to put up a little bit of a press here as West Holmes gets it down the court. Morrison drives baseline, wide open layup, not with Djurdjevic in the paint, as West Holmes able to corral their own rebound and put it up for 2.
And that's a strong move by Morrison. I thought there was a little contact. I thought he may have gotten fouled, but they get the offensive rebound and put it in for their first field goal.
Ashland on the other end gets a taste of their own medicine. A block from West Holmes as a couple of substitutions check in. Wolf will sit down and Felton will check in.
And Morrison goes strong. I thought there was a lot of contact by Djurdjevic that time, but they did get the offensive board.
Deep inbounds passed for the Arrows. Sturry has it. Morrison right there on him. Dribbles to his right. Takes a little bit of contact. 2 strong. Rebound corralled by the Knights. Wells the other way. Denbow guarding him. Behind the back move. Takes a screen. Brings it back out. 3-point line now is Schultz.
All about ball movement for the West Holmes Knights right now with Morrison with the deep 3. And they are moving the ball, getting the ball to their scorers, Wells and Morrison. And, for a team that has only played 3 games, they are playing with a lot of energy. A lot of mistakes, but they're playing with a lot of energy as well.
McFrederick has it, gets it over to Sturry. 3-point try for him. That one looked like it was going to rattle out, but finds the bottom of the net.
Nice looking shot by Sturry. And if they can get other guys involved in shooting from the perimeter, that's going to make them even tougher to guard. With a guy like Denbow on the court.
3:30 left to play here in the first quarter. Corner now, Schultz off the top of the backboard. Now it's going to be out of bounds, and a couple more players will check in off both teams' benches.
So right now, what West Holmes has got to be able to do, they've been playing decent in the half court. They've got to do a better job in transition defense and trying to stop the Arrows from getting out in transition and scoring easy baskets.
Denbow, three-point try. No good. Rebound for Ashland. Denbow has it, drives to the cup. Beautiful pass to Djurdjevic in that one. An easy layup for him.
And again, Denbow with the, just being a creator, a guy shot fake, drove the lane, drew Djurdjevic's man, and dished it to him for a wide open layup. That's great playmaking ability.
That one not going to find the bottom of the tin for West Holmes. Denbow the other way on the fast break. Sturry has it. Morrison right there on him. Takes a screen. McFrederick on the pop, trying to work it inside to Djurdjevic. That one tipped out. Ashland retains possession. Denbow now on the right wing. Djurdjevic still trying to find position inside. Another great pass from Denbow, and a layup that's going to result in 2 shots at the free throw line.
All right, and you can see with the ball movement and people movement of the Arrows, guys understand if they cut and move, Denbow's going to find them under the basket. So they're doing a great job of moving without the basketball and getting open in wide open lanes. They've had wide open layups here in the last 3 possessions. So, the Arrows doing a decent job. But if I'm West Holmes, I'm happy with our half-court defense right now. We've been doing a good job. You take away the transition buckets, and this is a different ball game right now. So half-court defensively, they've been playing well. They've got to keep it going if they want to stay in this ball game.
And for a team like Ashland, how great or important is it to have a guy like Denbow who does, get his fair share of points, but who really looks to set up his teammates, knows that he doesn't have to score every time, knows that he can trust his teammates to score.
Well, and that's the key. If a guy like Denbow, who is a great scorer, understands that he doesn't have to shoot every time, and then his teammates understand that his value is being on the court, not necessarily that he can just score, he changes the game. You watch guys like Steph Curry at the NBA level, he doesn't have to shoot because he causes so much action the defense has to account for him no matter where he goes, and that leaves wide open shots for other people. So that's what makes it tough to guard a team like Ashland offensively. When you've got a prolific scorer on the court, you got to account for wherever he is.
I believe we got a spill down here by the West Holmes bench. Or the ceiling, excuse me, I'm being told by my director, is still leaking. Had that problem last night too.
There's been a leak, and we got a lot of weather. We've had a lot of weather here, especially today, and that kind of one thing weather does is it exposes your leaks and anything you got going on in your roof, either at home or in a gymnasium.
Second free throw goes after the delay for Ashland. Morrison has it in the half court now. Over to Zimmerly. Double team coming, stripped away from Ashland. They have it on the fast break. 2-on-1. That's going to be a charge foul on the floor. So West Holmes with some terrific transition defense there.
Yeah, that time they were better. That time they were able to get back and get a man in front of the rim and take a charge. And when we talk about transition defense, that's what we're talking about. Being able to get back and not give up easy layups off the turnover.
Morrison once again for West Holmes, trying to find a cutter there. Gets tipped. Morrison able to keep on to it. Gets it out to the corner where Schultz is waiting for it. He's got Bates on him. Tough shot there from Schultz. Not going to go. Rebound Ashland. Denbow has it. 1:40 now left to play in the first. Denbow. Morrison guarding him. Dribbles to his left. Pull-up jumper on the way. High off the rim and out.
Well, and I think this pace is what Ashland wants. Ashland wants to get up and down the court, get a lot of possessions as Morrison misses a three. But this is where the Arrows want to play.
Off of a steal, West Holmes, not enough gas on the layup. McFrederick, the defensive rebound, slows things down, gets it back to Denbow, and that's always tough when you miss those easy ones right at the rim.
Right. It's important that in a game like this, you're already down 9 points. You want to be able to take advantage of the easy ones.
Hop step, Denbow now has it. Djurdjevic on the inside, easy layup, and Djurdjevic has really been dominating down there, down low so far.
Again, great ball movement by the Arrows that time, just finding the open man, getting the ball moved from one side to another, and Djurdjevic cut for a wide open layup.
Oh my goodness, get that out of my house. Djurdjevic with a disrespectful block right there. Leads to an Ashland defensive rebound. Denbow the other way, getting it all the way down to Bates. Another easy transition look for the Arrows.
And once again, quick score by the Arrows.
Morrison has it, didn't see the help defender coming. Ashland with the steal, Sturry all the way to the hoop. Not going to get the layup to go. Djurdjevic inside. Not going to get the put back to Paul, but will head to the charity stripe.
Great offensive rebound that time by Djurdjevic to be able to get up on the glass, and it's the tempo right now, as you can see, starting to wear on West Holmes. And early on they were trying to play with energy, but right now you can see the tempo is really wearing on them.
3 Arrows are going to check in as well as one night for both squads. Denbow, Mowry, and Swygood will check in for the Arrows. Djurdjevic with his second attempt at the free throw line finds the bottom of the net. Wells now on offense. This will probably be the last shot here in the first quarter for the Knights. 8 seconds now. Wells takes the screen, kicks it over. Schultz has it now. Step back try on the way at the buzzer. Not going to go. And that's going to do it here for the first quarter. The Ashland Arrows leads the West Holmes Knights 20-5. Going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. But for now, you've been watching High School Hoops live and free on the OH Report.
Instead of paying for some big-name spokesperson, Kasasa Checking gives that money back to you in cash rewards. In fact, it just bought me this cup of coffee. See how that works? Amazing! Free checking, cash rewards. Take back banking with Kasasa.
I got 2 feet on the ground, head flying in the clouds. It's just the little things, all of the little things. Hands up in the sky, it's all gonna be alright. It's just the little things, all of the little things. It's oh, 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 oh. Love the little things, love the little things.
Welcome back to Ashland High School second quarter action. Moments away. Storm Bluntschlo joined by the illustrious Effie James. And Effie, it was really a tale of one team there in the first quarter.
Right. And Djurdjevic, who's right now leading all scorers with 6 points, has been the beneficiary of some great cuts, great passes as Denbow turns it over here early in the second quarter, and Morrison gives it right back. But, you know, that first quarter was all about Ashland in transition and getting the tempo where they wanted it. That's why they've got such a big lead right now at 20-5.
And what does West Holmes really have to do? I know we talked about that transition defense, but it kind of seems like their defense has been a little lackluster completely tonight.
Well, it's tough. When Denbow's on the floor, you know, all 10 eyes for the defense has got to be on him. And that leaves guys like Djurdjevic and other guys who's cutting to the basket wide open. So they've just got to sit down, lock down, and play better team defense. And they've been in spots, they've been playing really well in the half court.
Denbow all the way to the cup, takes a lot of contact, no call. Going to say it was last touched by him. It's going to be West Holmes basketball.
Yeah, like right there, that is a prime example. That is a great defensive possession. They played well. They came over and helped when Denbow started to drive. They've got to play that way in the half court. And that'll give themselves a chance. But if you're going to let Ashland run and score in the half court, it's going to be a long night. So, you know, West Holmes has played well in spots defensively. But this is the end. They've got to find a way to get points on the board. 5 points in a quarter is not going to do it. And right now Morrison, as their primary ball handler, has been, you know, he's under duress all game long. But they've got to find ways to get points on the board.
West Holmes off of the Ashland foul. Morrison inbounds it to Wells. Picked up right at half court where Denbow's waiting for him. Screen from Zimmerly. Corner now. Schultz with the fake all the way inside, and an easy two to start off the scoring for the West Holmes Knights.
Right, and that's what they need. And Schultz with the strong drive there. They need those easy baskets, move the basketball from one side to another, and then be aggressive getting to the lane.
Denbow trying to shake and bake, also trying to find Djurdjevic down low. Skip pass. Mowry has it, three-point try. No good. Djurdjevic trying to fight for the rebound. Denbow comes up with it, three-pointer from him. Air ball, Ashland with another attempt on offense. Three-point try once again for the Arrows, and if at first you don't succeed, try again, Effie.
Right, absolutely. Well, and we talked about them not giving up points and playing solid defense. You certainly can't give multiple opportunities. It's only a matter of time before one of these Ashland shooters are able to knock down a three, and that's exactly what happened. So great job by the Arrows of staying after the basketball on the offensive boards. They've got 4 offensive boards already in this game.
Wells trying to create something in the lane. He's going to get fouled by Djurdjevic, and he's going to head to the line for 2. And Effie, when your assignment on the night is to guard a guy like Denbow, I mean, that's got to put a lot of stress on you if you're a guy like Morrison or Wells.
Well, sure, and when you're one of the primary scorers like Morrison is and Wells, you know, it takes a lot of energy to guard a guy like Denbow, who is a great shooter. He can shoot off the dribble. He also is a guy who can facilitate, as we've seen already. He's a great passer. So, you know, he is a hard draw, and it's not just one person that's going to be able to guard him. The whole team has got to be responsible to know where he is. So that's what makes it so tough. And for West Holmes to be successful, they've got to find a way to limit his creativity with the basketball.
Mowry trying to create his own shot there. Not going to go. West Holmes going to have it. 3-on-2 fast break. We'll see what they do with it. Wells in the corner. Fake three-point try. Falls away from the basket. Too strong. Denbow pulls down the rebound. Denbow now across the timeline. Quick crossover. Gets all the way to the cup and fills it up. Two-pointer. One more for Luke Denbow.
Well, and, you know, if Luke Denbow is going to be able to drive the middle of the lane, it's going to be tough. But, you know, West Holmes, as they knock down a three there, that is desperately needed. You know, I was going to say they have got to find some ways to get the ball to the basket. They may want to think about running a little bit more clock, taking a little bit more time with the basketball offensively, give themselves a chance here.
McFrederick has it. Denbow backdoor cut, dumps it off to Djurdjevic, and another sweet pass from Denbow. That just a little too much mustard on it for Djurdjevic as it sails out of bounds.
Yeah, nice pass that time. Like you said, a little bit too hot. That's a 5th turnover tonight for the Arrows. And again, but they play with such tempo. They're used to playing fast that they have to be, you know, when you're Djurdjevic and everyone else cutting to the basket, you got to be ready for the basketball because Denbow will find you.
Speaking of Luke Denbow, only needs 5 more points now to move to 3rd in all-time scoring for the Arrows as West Holmes knocks down a 3 from Morrison. Inbound for the Arrows goes to Denbow.
All right, back-to-back threes right now for West Holmes, and that's what they're going to have, putting some more, making shots, making not only threes, but getting an offensive rhythm going along with some defensive stops.
Djurdjevic off the mark with that 15-foot jump shot. Wells has it, gets in the lane, kicks it out to Fair. Pull-up try for him now. High off the glass and out. Or an in, excuse me.
Well, that is a 3 straight possessions with scores for West Holmes, and that's what they got to have, get into an offensive rhythm. Now they've got to work on getting stops down here.
Denbow heat check. Djurdjevic offensive rebound tipped away from the Knights. Denbow with a little bit of a heat check right there, trying to test the hot hands as that one was couple steps behind the three-point line.
Right, but I still think that's well within his range.
Definitely.
That's a shot that he certainly can make.
I think as we see another 3 from Ashland, that one goes, and Sturry with a deep three-pointer, but I believe Denbow, anything across half court he likes.
Absolutely.
Wells now skip pass to Schultz. He gets caught on that short corner, now up top to Fair. Bates guarding him, handoff. Schultz has it again, 3-point try. Not going to go on that one. Morrison with a strong offensive rebound. Battle for it with Djurdjevic. That's going to be a jump ball possession arrow. Points towards the West Holmes Knights.
West Holmes really being aggressive on the offensive boards that time, and that time Morrison gets in there, gets a second chance opportunity. They've got 5 here in the first half, and that is another way to manufacture points, especially when you're struggling shooting from the outside.
Djurdjevic takes his seat for the Arrows, Effie, and this is where West Holmes really has to be aggressive. They got to try to get inside and maybe kick something out to their open shooters as Morrison tries from mid-range, not going to get it to go. But with Djurdjevic on the bench, this is where you want to be aggressive.
Right. And, once they get any type of a chance to take advantage of the depth or, some of the, Ashland players don't have as much experience as others. So you've got to be able to get second chance opportunities. Their size, Ashland's got a really small unit on the floor right now, so West Holmes really wants to try to eat up all the boards they can.
Denbow has it, waves off a screen, dribbles to his left. Now to Sturry, who had a three-point bomb on the last offensive possession for the Arrows. Bates drives inside. Denbow comes up with the loose ball. Skip pass, McFrederick. Ankle breaker, however, turnover as Wells takes it across the timeline.
Solid defense again by West Holmes Knight in the half courts. They have done a good job at times of sitting down, communicating, and really keeping the ball away from the rim. Wow.
Wells tries to get inside, and Effie, these refs are really letting them play tonight.
Yeah, that was a strong move by Morrison, and he got hit hard with no call. So, I've always said in my coaching days, I always thought it was fine if you're going to let teams play, let both the teams play, and the teams have to adjust, and that's what's going to happen. But you can't call it, let it play one possession, and then make it touchy on the others.
Djurdjevic checks back in for the Arrows. Wells on the drive, now to Morrison. He gets caught down on the baseline, able to get it to Zimmerly. Zimmerly with a bounce pass, now outside three-point line. Back to Zimmerly for a three-point try. Djurdjevic defensive rebound. A quick foul there on Proper as Denbow is trying to get it up across the half-court line.
Well, and again, that's a good offensive possession for West Holmes, and they just couldn't get the shot to fall. A wide-open look, couldn't get it to fall. They had great ball movement and got a wide-open shot, so you can't ask for much more than that. But right here is where they've got to continue to get better if they want to get back into this ball game. They've got to be better defensively and not give up easy layups.
Denbow tried to lob that one into Djurdjevic. Going to be tipped away. Morrison the other way. Just over 2 minutes left to play here in the second quarter. Wells three-point try. Denbow right in his grill space. Not going to get it to go.
Well, I'll tell you right now, the West Holmes they're not shy about shooting the basketball. And they're trying to get as many shots up as they can, just not hitting a whole lot of them at this point.
Hand check call right there on Felton, and seems like the adjustments out of the first quarter break are working for the Knights. Ashland definitely hasn't been scoring in transition as much.
Right, and that's the key from the beginning. That I'm sure Coach Hall said that's what we've got to stop. We've got to stop the transition baskets and give ourselves a chance in the half court. But now it comes down to now they got to be able to hit some shots in the half court as Denbow hits a tough jump shot.
Silky smooth on that one. Great defense. I think they just call that better offense.
Absolutely. As
West Holmes has it. Morrison with Denbow right there on him. Proper back to Morrison. Three-point try. Left it just short. Djurdjevic another rebound. Surprise. And Djurdjevic has just been eating glass down there.
And Djurdjevic, like you mentioned, when he went out of the game, that left him exposed, but Coach Hess got him right back into the game. I think he got about a 90-second rest, and he got right back into the game. He knows how important he is to control those boards.
I was a bigger guy when I played Effie, and I think I needed more than 90 seconds when I was playing. Denbow across the timeline. Wells on defense. Sturry has it. Swinging it over to Mowry. Now in the corner is Bates. Back to Mowry. Terrific ball movement here for Ashland on this possession. Ends up in the hands of Denbow, almost taken away. Look at the hustle defense from Zimmerly as he's able to get it off the court to Wells. Fast break opportunity, and that one goes with under a minute to play in the half.
That is the last 4 turnovers, the last 5 possessions for the Arrows. And that says a lot about the West Holmes intensity. And so when Coach Hall tells me they're going to be good, they may not be good right now, but they're going to be, I can see why he feels that way. His team is playing really hard right now.
Three-point try for Ashland, not going to get it to go. 30 seconds now in the second quarter. Wells has it. Three-point line, driving in as proper. Schultz up top to Zimmerly. Three-point attempt for him. Off of the back of the iron and out. Denbow talking to his coach, saying he wants to take the last shot of this half as there's 10 seconds. Denbow gets it across the timeline, sizing up his defender, Wells. Denbow now with 5 seconds. Quick move behind the back. Falls away from the hoop. Not going to go. Djurdjevic offensive rebound and a quick putback. They're going to call that one good, and what a second effort there from Djurdjevic to get that one to go at the horn.
Yeah, Djurdjevic all this first half has been hanging around the rim. So if you don't get a body on him, he's going to get that offensive board. Great effort by Djurdjevic.
And that's going to do it for the second quarter. The Ashland Arrow leads the West Holmes Knights 32-19. Going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with a halftime report as well. Second half action live and free on the OH Report.
Here we go now. Here we go now. Here we go now.
Instead of paying for some big-name spokesperson, Kasasa Checking gives that money back to you in cash rewards. In fact, you just bought me this cup of coffee. See how that works? Amazing! Free checking, cash rewards. Take back banking with Kasasa.
I got 2 feet on the ground, head flying in the clouds. It's just the little things, all of the little things. Hands up in the sky, it's all gonna be alright. It's just the little things, all of the little things. And love the little things, love the little things.
And where? What do you say? The exclamation point on the night for Maurice Ware.
I wish you happy, happy, happy New Year. I wish
here at Ashland Arrows High School, where we have the pleasure of listening to, I believe that is the alumni jazz band here. Storm bluntly joined by the illustrious Effie James. And hey, those are some guys who know how to play some jazz music, Effie.
Yeah, I always, this is a highlight of coming to the gym. So anytime I get the assignment of coming to Ashland, the first thing I look forward to is listening to that jazz band. They are absolutely awesome. Always have been, actually. And usually they get a singer to come out at some point. But people would always laugh at me because when I was coaching, I would always come out early. But I just wanted to hear the band. They're awesome, man. They're cool, man. I love them.
I can't blame you there. And, I mean, those guys over there, they know how to shred. I remember in high school I was in band, not nearly as good as these guys were.
Right.
As we take a look at our halftime stats here in the halftime break, the Ashland Arrows lead the West Holmes Knights 32-19. Starting off with the home court Arrows, 11 field goals, 3 threes, 15 rebounds, 2 fouls, and 7 turnovers. They've converted on 4 free throws for the Knights, 5 field goals, 3 threes, 10 rebounds, 5 fouls, 6 turnovers, and they have converted on 2 of their attempts. Effie, I think the play down low by Djurdjevic, as well as, of course, the orchestrating from Denbow has really been the key here today.
Well, and if you look at the stats, the rebounds, do tell the story, but it is those extra 6 offensive rebounds for the Ashland Arrows. And that's where Djurdjevic has really put his mark on the game. Between offensive rebounds and strong cuts to the rim and second chance opportunities, that has been a huge difference in this ball game. And if we made a stat for the transition buckets or the tempo baskets for Ashland, that's why the difference. That's the difference in the score right now, because half court to half court, West Holmes has played well. They find themselves down by double digits right now, but they have played well in the half court. They just have not played well the entire game, transition-wise, and keeping up with the Ashland transition game.
And like you mentioned, only 1 turnover separates these two teams. I believe West Holmes was 7, Ashland was 6, but it has been the transition offense, like you said. Ashland just so adept at getting Denbow the ball and him just chucking a full court pass Kevin Love style.
Well, and that's the way they practice, they play. Anytime you see Ashland get the rebound defensively, whoever gets the rebound, their eyes are right up looking at the basket, looking to throw the ball deep, because they want to get those easy opportunities. And as you can see, that can be the difference in the game. If you can get a team that usually is offensive rebounds, looks to go in and crash the boards heavy, but if you give up some easy baskets, get the ball out deep, that'll force that team to get off the offensive boards and try to stop you in transition. So, it is, the scoreboard doesn't say it's a competitive game, but if you're here and you're watching it, you can tell that this game is really competitive. Ashland certainly does have a lot of weapons, but West Holmes is playing hard. They are playing tough tonight.
We're going to take another quick break from our Janney halftime show. We're going to be right back with second half action, but for now, you've been watching High School Hoops live and free on the OH Report.
Instead of paying for some big-name spokesperson, Kasasa Checking gives that money back to you in cash rewards. In fact, it just bought me this cup of coffee. See how that works? Amazing! Free checking, cash rewards. Take back banking with Kasasa.
I got 2 feet on the ground, head flying in the clouds. It's just the little things, all of the little things. Hands up in the sky, it's all gonna be alright. It's just the little things, all of the little things. And love little things, love little things.
Welcome back to Ashland High School. We're just about to wrap up halftime. Storm Blunchley joined by the illustrious Effie James and Effie, Luke Denbow ever so closer. I believe only 5 points away from moving into third on the all-time scoring list.
Well, and, that's an inevitability right now for Luke, and you could tell he didn't play with any pressure on him. Scoring is what he's been doing since he's been here at Ashland, so nothing's going to change. Right now, though, if I'm Coach Hess from Ashland, I'm concerned about the fact that even though I've got a big lead, right now West Holmes has got great energy. Out of the last 8 possessions, West Holmes forced 5 turnovers. So Ashland want to be a little bit better with the basketball here in this half as they open up in what looks like a matchup zone here against West Holmes.
Morrison has it. Hop, step, fall away basket, or try. Djurdjevic down there battling for the rebound. They're going to call that one a jump ball. Possession arrow points towards the home court Arrows.
Yeah, so a little switch up defensively there for the Arrows, and then we're going to see a little switch up defensively here for West Holmes, picking up full court here, trying to force the action a little bit.
Djurdjevic pass inside from Denbow, not enough on it, can't get it to go. Morrison with the defensive rebound gets it up to Wells. So a quick stop for the West Holmes Knights leads to another offensive possession for them. Morrison has it on the wing, gets it down to Zimmerly, back out to Wells. 3-point try now from Schultz, and that one goes to start off the scoring in the second half for the Knights.
Yeah, and Schultz looked really comfortable there. And again, great ball movement that time for the West Holmes Knights, getting the ball from side to side and getting a wide open look that time for Schultz.
Ashland still looking for their first bucket of the second half, and Effie at one point it was 15, now it's 10, so West Holmes starting to chip away at this one.
Well, the energy, and Zimmerly right there gets his hands on the basketball, just playing with great hands, great energy defensively, and wow, some physical play there.
No call on the floor from the refs, but that's kind of been the pace of the game.
Right, absolutely.
Been a lot of physical plays. Denbow somehow gets the finger roll to go. I didn't even really see that one go up. I just saw it go through the hoop.
Right, great quick move right there off the wing by Denbow on the right side with the left hand. Really nice move.
Wells has it now to Zimmerly. In the corner is Morrison. Skip past Wells. Warm-up jumper on the way. That one falls. And the West Holmes Knights offense with a little bit of life there at the end of the second and beginning of the third quarter.
All right, 2 straight threes for the West Holmes Knights to open this half. And, they want to look to be a little bit more aggressive offensively.
Another terrific feed from Denbow down to his big man Djurdjevic, who finds another easy score for 2.
And this game is getting physical in their Storm. I mean, they are letting them bang each other going to the basket. And I'm going to be honest, I'd rather it that way as a coach. I'd rather them, as long as they're calling it both sides, let them play, let them be physical.
I agree there. I like a good physical basketball game. As Schultz not able to get that one to go. Rebound goes out of bounds. West Holmes is going to retain possession. Schultz has it. Now to Wolf. Wells. Back inside to Wolf. He gets in the lane, off the glass and in. Another score for West Holmes. Quick three-pointer on the other way for Ashland, and that's the second time Ashland has answered a West Holmes score with a 3.
Right, and West Holmes feeling good about getting points offensively, but now to give up a transition 3, and but not bad defense that time, just a great shot.
Wolf one more time in the lane, took a lot of contact from Djurdjevic. He pulls down the defensive rebound. Denbow the other way. Wells on him in transition. Denbow goes up with it. That's going to be out of bounds. I think they're calling that one a foul, and Denbow's going to step up for 2 at the free throw line.
Well, that's surprising. That has been a no call to this point of that game, but another strong move that time by Denbow, was able to draw contact and get to the free throw line.
See, our fan zone just left the screen. Make sure you comment. Tell us what you got for Christmas, where you're watching from, who you're watching with, all the things like that. We'd love to have you up on our fan zone, which does YouTube now, if I'm not mistaken, Twitter and Facebook. So let us know wherever you're watching from, whatever platform you're watching on. We'd love to hear from you. 5 minutes left here in the third quarter. West Holmes the other way. Wells has it across the timeline. Denbow guarding him. Morrison skip pass. Now back inside to Zimmerly, trying to get it to Felton a little too much on it. Ashland the other way.
And first turnover of the half there for West Holmes, and they can't afford to be sloppy with the basketball at this point.
Try to shovel that one into Djurdjevic. Another foul call. Ashland is going to have it out of bounds. And West Holmes very active on the bench. A lot of substitutions tonight for them, trying to keep fresh legs in. Do you think that's a factor of not playing as many games as their competitors?
Absolutely. And as you see, they'll throw it off the back there for Sturry. He's able to get a free bucket on the out-of-bounds play. But, yeah, it's Coach Hall understands his kids aren't in peak condition right now. So he's, especially the second half, he's got to keep bodies fresh.
Zimmerly with the offensive rebound, three-point try from Proper. High off the basket, not going to go in. And a savvy veteran move from Sturry to toss it off of his defender as we take a look at the replay. I mean, never want to get with your back caught towards the inbounder.
Yeah, that is a interesting play. And normally, back in the old days, they used to say the ball had to bounce inside before you can pick it up. But they've since changed that rule, and he took advantage.
Denbow with the cookies, gets the swipe all the way. 1-on-2, fast break, takes it himself. Not going to go. And on that inbounds play, Effie, you think that was drawn up, or do you think Sturry just kind of came up with that one on the fly?
That is just being a savvy basketball player, recognizing that nobody in red is even looking at you, and that's kind of a natural playground play. So really smart move that time for him.
Denbow now could cut it to 1 to tie the third place position in all-time scoring for Ashland. Free throw line steps up, will not make his first one, and that's not something you're used to seeing from him.
Well, Denbow has missed his last 3 in a row. That is 3 in a row from the free throw line that he's missed. And, I said earlier that he wasn't feeling that all-time list, but maybe he is a little bit.
Not going to get his second one to go. 0-4 in his last 4. Not a sight we're used to seeing as West Holmes trying to score on the other end. Miscommunication on defense as Felton gets an easy 2 in the lane. Ashland the other way. Sturry has it. Morrison there on him. Couple quick dribbles. 3-point try from Sturry. Djurdjevic goes right over the defender. Puts one in. Count that baby, and a foul.
Great activity by Djurdjevic underneath, and he has just been a force. His size is just too much for the Knights, and this shot goes up, and that time they tried to get a body on him. Just too long, too big. Great touch around the rim. Great finish.
Definitely a scary matchup, I feel like, for any team. I mean, just the terrific size from Djurdjevic, the way he's able to – he's also one of those finesse players. He can swim around you to box out. Doesn't get his free throw attempt to go, but an easy offensive rebound. But, I mean, just so adept at crashing the offensive glass.
Right, and, he understands that that's the way you can get a lot of points in this game as West Holmes gets an offensive board.
Djurdjevic with another rebound as Swygood kicks it over to Sturry, who has 18 points, leads the Arrows offense, drives inside. Blocking foul and 2 more free throw attempts. So the attempts at the charity stripe coming in volume now.
Right, and right now what's happening is the Arrows are noticing that West Holmes' energy level, I think defensively, is not where it was. And right now the Ashland Arrow ball handlers are just putting their head down and getting to the lane. And if your man helps, they're going to kick for an open layup or an open shot. I haven't seen too many offensive sets here in the third quarter. They are just being aggressive, getting to the lane, and so far it's working.
And that's kind of what we saw in the first half, is that free throw falls as well. As West Holmes started the game with a lot of energy, but as that first quarter waned on, the wear and tear really started to wear on them.
Well, Coach Hall understands that his team, again, like we talked about, they're not in the best condition right now. They will get better at that, but for now he's got to be able to utilize his bench players.
Wells finds a way inside and gets the 2-pointer to go as Denbow receives the inbound pass. 2:45 left to go here in the third quarter. Denbow kicks it outside. Deep 3-point for Sturry. No good. Track down, almost saved by the Arrows, and it will be off of West Holmes, but how about that confidence from Sturry to take that shot?
Well, Sturry has been aggressive, shooting the basketball right from the beginning tonight. He started the game with a 3, and he has not been shy shooting from well beyond the arc tonight.
Denbow has it, now to the corner. Almost turned it over and does. Morrison able to track down the loose ball. Wells with Denbow picking him up in the half court. Gets it across the timeline with a pass to Proper. Sprang has it in the corner, deep in the 5 count. Able to get it away. Proper has it, double team coming. Morrison warm-up tries well. That one halfway down, all the way out, and somehow finds a way in for 3.
Yeah, and that's a good timeout by Coach Hall. Morrison knocks down a 3, and he wants to get his kids a breather here with just over 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter. And I got to tell you, Storm, I've said this earlier, but I like the fight that's in the West Holmes team right now. It's early for them. This is game 4 for them. First conference game on the road against one of the teams that are going to be there in the end to win the league. And I think they've come out and they've played really hard. Shots haven't fallen for them tonight. They started the game with a little bit of slow tempo, but they played well. Ashland also obviously has played well. They've really shown some their rebounding dominance with Djurjevic, and Denbow has been solid offensively as well. So we expected a competitive ball game. Sometimes the scoreboard doesn't show how competitive a game is.
This one definitely seems a lot closer than what the scoreboard would indicate, as that's a big block from West Holmes. They're going to have a 4-on-5 as Mowry is slow to get up, uses that to his advantage. Off the glass, that one goes. Mowry takes a lot of contact and one.
Yeah, and that foul, and as tough as that is, and Mowry was able to finish that bucket, but that foul that time by Morrison just shows the grit that West Holmes is playing with. Now, after this turnover, he could have easily, no, that's number 13, Schultz. Schultz could have easily just let him have that layup, but he wanted to fight. They're not going to give up anything easy.
Able to convert the and one try is Mowry, and not a good sign if you're the West Holmes Knights, is Djurjevic checking back in. It's a little scary, but West Holmes still hanging around here. Ashland kind of letting them get back into it at some points, and that's not something you can really do as the season continues on.
Well, and the great thing for Coach Hall and the West Holmes Knights, this being their first conference game, and if I'm not mistaken, I don't think there are any undefeated teams in the league. So if they drop this game tonight, he just wants to see effort from his kids. And that's what he's getting. And right now Ashland is playing better, but he's getting a lot of effort out of his kids, even being down double digits.
Yeah, Lexington, who had beat Ashland, I believe that was one of the first games of the season, and Lexington would go on to lose to Shelby just a couple of nights later in a non-conference matchup. But I do believe Lexington does have a conference loss as well. But talk just about the OCC, man. What a powerhouse conference this is.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see down the stretch. It really will be, because so many of these teams are continuing to get better, and Ashland and even Lexington is solid. Worcester starting off with Mansfield Senior beat Worcester in the opening game of the season. But all these teams are just continue and will continue to get better. So it'll be interesting to see down the stretch.
Another deep three-point try. Battle for the rebound. Sturry somehow finds his own offensive rebound. That's going to be a timeout for Ashland so that they can keep the possession. 1:22 left in the third quarter. And a smart play by Sturry to follow his shot and call that timeout while he's on the floor.
Right, and again, Sturry, not shy from beyond the arc tonight. He has been, he has shot quite a few of them, and that time went after his own rebound. On the night already, Storm, Ashland Arrows have 8 offensive boards. And when you give a team that's already, solid offensively that many extra opportunities, it just won't be good for you. So, it's part of Ashland's game plan to get second shot opportunities.
Ashland now on the inbound. Denbow has it. Wells right there. Wells able to poke it away. A ton of aggressive defenses. It forced Denbow into the turnover as well to pick up his dribble. 3-on-2 fast break. Morrison thought about taking himself, gets it inside to Wells. No charge call, but Wells can't finish, and Djurdjevic clears the defensive rebound.
That's a nice aggressive move and solid defense down here by West Holmes. Wow.
That is just a cheat code, it looks like. Djurdjevic just going right over the back of the defender.
And I thought that time, there's been some physical play, but I didn't see anything. I just saw him reach up and grab the basketball. So that's a tough call for Djurdjevic. He's been so aggressive on the board.
I agree, and Morrison gets it to Wells. Ashland in a press now as West Holmes able to get it across the timeline. Klein has it now to Fair. 43 seconds left to play here in the third quarter. Wells has it deep. They're going to call that one a push-off foul, so looks like the referee's kind of tightened up here a little bit in the third quarter.
It's interesting now here down the stretch, and things are getting a little bit tight. But I think what's happening is teams are getting more aggressive on the drive. So that generally happens late in games defensively. Early where they were moving their feet, now you're starting to see teams play with a lot more hands as Denbow gets the steal and the breakaway.
Denbow now needs just one 2-point basket to pass into third and all-time Ashland scoring leaders. And I was here, I believe, last year when he scored 1,000. And, man, it is just terrific to watch that kid play. And what an accomplishment it would be to do it at home.
Sure, and that's what you really want, to be able to do it at home. And, 1,000 points is a lot of points, man. I'm telling you, for a high school career, I don't care where you play or how often you play. 1,000 points is a lot.
Djurdjevic clears the ball to Denbow. He's going to have a chance to pass that record here with this three-point try at the end of the third quarter. No good. Djurdjevic offensive rebound, 5 seconds. Hounding on the basketball. West Holmes able to get it. Not going to put up a shot, and that's going to do it here for the third quarter. The Ashland Arrows leads the West Holmes Knights 52-36. Going to take a quick break, but for now, you've been watching High School Hoops live and free on the OH Report.
Instead of paying for some big-name spokesperson, Kasasa Checking gives that money back to you in cash rewards. In fact, it just bought me this cup of coffee. See how that works? Amazing! Free checking, cash rewards. Take back banking with Kasasa.
I got 2 feet on the ground, head flying in the clouds. It's just the little things, all of the little things. Hands up in the sky, it's all gonna be alright. It's just the little things, all of the little things. Oh, 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 oh. Love the little things, love the little things.
Welcome back to Ashland Arrows High School. Storm Blunchley, of course, joined by the illustrious Effie James. And Effie, Luke Denbow needs 1 point to pass into third. Like you said, 1,000 points,
Right.
a feat at any level of basketball.
Absolutely.
I believe when I was in high school, I scored maybe 13. Sturry takes it himself for 2, but, I mean, wow. Anything over 1,000 just blows my mind.
Yeah, and the fact that he was able to do it in 3 years is just unbelievable. And but it says a lot about himself, his teammates, and I'm sure he would tell you that his teammates had a lot to do with him scoring that many points. And but right now, the Arrows are trying to get better as they turn it over here and give up a and one to Wells. But they are, right now, if you ask them, they are trying to get better. And I know this individual record for Denbow is important, and he'll be able to relish that at the season. But right now, they want to get better as a team so they can fight for this conference title.
West Holmes doing their darndest to try to get back into this one with that and one for Wells. He steps up to the line and converts on the three-point play. Denbow off the inbound. Wells right there hounding him up the sideline, able to get by him. A hip check. No call as it's going to be a 2-on-2 fast break for the Knights. They get another quick basket in Effie just like that. 4-0 run for the Knights.
Right, and the Knights are playing really aggressive, and in this stretch of play, the referees are putting their whistles away.
In the third quarter, it was a little bit more ticky-tack, but here in the fourth, letting them play. Three-point try. McFrederick gets it to go.
Yeah, that's a big shot because you could feel the momentum heading towards West Holmes, and McFrederick able to step up and hit a big three there to stop that run and stop the momentum that was heading in West Holmes' favor.
And it seems like whenever West Holmes gets momentum, Ashland is just right there with a big three or a big and one or an offensive rebound to shut that down, and that's got to be so demoralizing as a team trying to claw back into a deep deficit.
Right, and that's why, early on we talked about, the keys to the game, and one of the things they couldn't let Ashland get out to this big lead because it's so hard when you got a team that's got such good ball handling, such good shooting, and a multiple number of guys that are capable three-point shooters, as we see McFrederick knock down the three there. Capable three-point shooters, it is going to be hard to get back into the game, even if you're playing tough, hard-nosed basketball the way West Holmes has been. And I'm telling you, anybody that walks away from this game thinking West Holmes is a pushover is not watching this game. They are playing hard, playing well, not getting many shots to fall. But they are playing hard, and Ashland is working hard to score buckets.
And when you try to pinpoint what all went wrong for the West Holmes Knights so far, it's got to be that first quarter. They let, I believe, Ashland jump out to a quick 8-0 or 6-0 run just off of transition points, and at that point, it just kind of looked like they were physically drained.
Right, and then they just went cold offensively there in the second quarter. They could not hit a shot, and since, though, they have become, more aggressive and got open looks underneath like that bucket right there for Wolf. They've been more aggressive here in the second half offensively.
Denbow floats that one all the way over to Sturry. Three-point try, not going to go. Trying to keep it alive. That one almost gets tipped in by McFrederick. However, it's going to be out of bounds. Last touch by West Holmes, so Ashland's going to take possession. That one hanging on the top of the backboard, just there for a split second, enough for some arrows to get into position and get a second chance opportunity as Denbow lines up to inbound. Quick inbound to Djurdjevic. He finds himself wide open, and another two. Djurdjevic continues the dominance in the painted area.
Right, and Djurdjevic he understands, and you could tell an experienced player. He understands the offense. He understands where the openings are going to be, and he's able to make himself available and get easy baskets underneath.
Denbow on the fast break, 3-on-2, fast break for the Arrows. Denbow all the way to the cup, high off the glass and out. Djurdjevic, second chance opportunity, not going to go, and Djurdjevic's going to have an opportunity for two at the free throw stripe.
13 offensive rebounds now for the Ashland Arrows, and Djurdjevic has just been a menace on the offensive board tonight for the Arrows, and and it's not for lack of effort. I think here in the second half, West Holmes has really been making a point of getting a body on Djurdjevic, but he's so active. He just moves away. He's got long arms. He's able to reach over the top without fouling and grabbing the basketball. So just an excellent job by this young man tonight.
Djurdjevic steps up to the line, nails his second one. Morrison inbound for the Knights. He gets it over to his partner in crime, Wells. Denbow right there at the half-court line. Over to Zimmerly. Deep three-point try from Wells, and that one from Steph Curry range falls.
Wow. And, Wells is wide open. He said, why not?
And that's something I feel like I've seen a lot more of here in recent times, that deep three-point try from way beyond the arc.
The Steph Curry effect on basketball at all levels has been, you can't deny it. The amounts of three-point shots going up, it wasn't too long ago where, three-point shooting was limited to only the guys who most definitely could shoot it, as we see Denbow miss another free throw.
That one would have put him at number 3, so maybe a little bit of the nerve setting in as Wells has it for the Knights. Another three-point try for him. No good. Denbow the other way, defensive rebound, slicing and dicing, get it in the lane, fall away shot. No good. Djurdjevic, another offensive rebound, and it must be Thanksgiving dinner the way he eats that glass.
Well, at this point, you expect him to get it. And the interesting thing about playing with I played with a young man named Sean Tucker, and you felt more comfortable shooting shots because the chance of him getting an offensive rebound was more often than not. And that's what happens here. You take some shots, you're more aggressive offensively when you got a guy who is going to get the second opportunity.
Denbow's going to have another opportunity for a 1-and-1 here at the free throw stripe. Like I said earlier, this one can put him at number 3 all-time, just needs one more point. Steps up to the line, that one goes. Third all-time now is Luke Denbow. What a career for him. I'm sure that's a big weight off his shoulder as he's able to knock down that free throw.
Right. That's something that's going to happen inevitably, and just a testament to this young man's commitment to getting better. And every year, Luke Denbow has gotten better here at Ashland and has played well for his team.
I mean, just wow, what a career for Luke Denbow, and he's still got over half a season left to continue that scoring prowess as West Holmes finds an easy layup in the lane. Sturry has it for the Arrows, gets it off to Denbow. He's got Morrison on him, slicing and dicing, kicks it out to McFrederick, and that one another 3-point falls for the Ashland Arrows.
And McFrederick really likes that corner shot. He's really comfortable there. Knocked down the last 2 attempts from the corner for 3.
Another inside shot goes. The mid-range jumper from Fair falls. As Denbow has it on offense once again for Ashland. He drives inside behind the back move. It's going to be out of bounds. A lot of contact right there. No call as they're going to say that one was just out of bounds.
Interesting, really tough. A physical play that time by West Holmes, and you could say that was a foul, or you could say the ball was already gone. But either way, the game has been physical. This type of games where we'd always say it looks like the referee may have somewhere to go later tonight. Put his whistle away.
Don't slow down that clock. Keep it moving.
Right.
As West Holmes unable to get it to fall, gets their own rebound. Djurdjevic another block, hosting his own block party, as I believe that one's number 3 or 4 for him. Denbow the other way, and Zimmerly with a foul. A little bit of frustration maybe there. It's going to be Ashland basketball out of bounds.
Right. Just great effort by Djurdjevic on both sides. He's able to get underneath offensively, and great block shot there on the last defensive possession. They're up by 15 here with 4 minutes to go. Still playing with great intensity and heart. Here are the Arrows. So a lot of teams could take the foot off the gas here, but Coach Hess will not allow that. You can see right now they've got, looks like 3 starters still in. Really looking to finish the game strong.
Denbow able to get both of those ones to fall. West Holmes the other way now. Proper has it. Gets it deep inside to Felton. Saw Djurdjevic, decided he didn't want to shoot that. Passes it out. Wells has it. Shovel pass now. Morrison inside. Puts the perfect amount of English on it. Wow, silky smooth layup attempt.
Nice move by Morrison. And you can see with Djurdjevic's there, he was able to, had to make that adjustment.
Turnover, Wells, another easy layup for the Knights. That's going to be a timeout for West Holmes with a quick 4-0 run.
Right. A little sloppy play here by the Arrows, and they are forcing them to continue to play, as a great cut and great English that time by Morrison. Able to use the rim to protect the shot blocker. But again, I'm looking at West Holmes, and Coach Hall is still coaching his team. And this game may be out of reach for them with 3:32. Anything could happen. But at the end, he wants to say his team got better. And right now, he is still, he's coaching his head off in that huddle, trying to get the max out of his players.
West Holmes will have it. Or excuse me, Ashland will have it out of bounds. Mowry gets it in to McFrederick. Back to Denbow, Zimmerly right there. Going to be a turnover from Denbow. Morrison the other way, goes all the way to the hoop, and some more sweet English, hangs in the air, gets it to fall, and one opportunity for the Knights.
Wow. You know, I tell you what, it's the defensive intensity here late in the game and playing hard all the way to the end and finishing layups. You know, right now in number 24 for West Holmes, Zimmerly has been the defensive catalyst. You know, he is playing really physical, really aggressive. Coach Hall has him trapping all over the court as West Holmes knocks down another free throw. But right now they are giving it all they have here in this last 3 minutes.
Yeah, definitely a difficult comeback to mount, but 10 points here in 3 minutes as Denbow has it on the offensive end, finds Sturry. Double teams coming. West Holmes with some aggressive defenses. Looks like Ashland's just trying to waste some clock. 3-point try, and who else but Djurdjevic kicks it out. 3-point try again for Ashland. No good, and they're going to say that was last touch by Denbow. West Holmes is going to take the ball.
Well, and right now, Ashland is really playing into West Holmes' hands. They're playing tough defense, and, you know, when you take a 3-point shot, you know, of course they're capable of making it, but at this stage, you take one, that's playing right into their hands. So if they could rebound, I'm sure West Holmes would be in a lot better shape. But, you know, just the heart and the grit they're playing with right now is you know, you have to respect these men from West Holmes.
Yeah, curious decision. The clock is Ashland's best friend as Denbow's able to get a defensive rebound, but it kind of seems to me like they would want to waste as much time as possible on the clock.
Well, and it's not so much about running clock, but you want to get something going toward the basket. You know, that way if you don't get a layup, you want to get fouled. You know, something to where you can eat up as much clock as you can. Sometimes taking you're wide open, but usually that's by design in these types of games. If you're wide open for a three, defensively, that's what they want you to take. And right now, but Ashland has such a big lead, you know, they're able to get away with some of those shots.
So Denbow unable to get the second of two to go. West Holmes the other way. 3-point try for the Knights. Air ball, Djurdjevic with the defensive rebound. Denbow, however, going to throw it away, and that's going to be another turnover for Denbow. He's had quite a trouble of taking care of the basketball tonight.
Yeah, 14 turnovers tonight for the Arrows in total, and you know they have the second half. They've been really sloppy with the basketball. I think they only had 7 at halftime, so they've been really sloppy here in the second half. But that's due to West Holmes really being aggressive defensively and turning up the intensity.
We see Luke Denbow so close to moving to second tonight here at home, as well as West Holmes gets a difficult shot to go, and they cut it back to below double digits. And a quick turnover for the Arrows leads to a shot, and that would have made this game a lot more interesting, Effie.
Right.
Little Reggie Miller action there almost. McFrederick has it. Ashland looks like they're trying to use a little bit more of the clock on this possession as the double team comes for Denbow. He gets inside, goes all the way to the lane, and scoops it up and fills it up for 2.
And that's a senior move by Denbow, understanding that, you know, going to the basket is going to be good. Whether he gets fouled or he gets a layup, that's the best thing for the Arrows at this point.
West Holmes the other way. Wells has it with 1:20 left to go, and another 3-point try for Wells. 8-point game all of a sudden here in the fourth quarter with 1:17 left to play.
Well, you probably 1:17 to go. It's 70-62. You know, we're sitting here calling it what is really a good game and an enjoyable game to watch. And I probably shouldn't say this, but I am a West Holmes fan. I really am. I'm enjoying how tough they're playing and how hard-nosed they're playing. Now, Ashland certainly is, you know, a quality basketball team, and they've played a great game, but this West Holmes team just won't quit. They will not quit, and they, you know, will not give, you know, where most teams would have folded by now. They won't give. So that's why Coach Hall told me again in the beginning, his team's not good right now, but they will be. And I tell you, you check on this group in the next next few weeks, and I'm telling you, they're going to be playing some really good basketball.
Well, if they keep playing with this hustle and this grit and don't give up, I mean, this is going to be a scary team to hang out in an already scary OCC conference.
Absolutely. And this is the type of team that the teams at the top of the league do not want to see coming. You don't want to have to play this team when you can't afford to get league losses because, you have a bad shooting night, and so happens Ashland's been shooting the ball well, but you have a bad shooting night against West Holmes, you're going to get beat.
Denbow off the inbound, 1:15 left to play. West Holmes desperate for a stop as Ashland gets something going towards the basket. Like you said, Bates gets it to fall and pushes the lead even further. West Holmes got to score quickly now. Morrison spin cycle. Another 2-point bucket. Ashland needs to take care of the basketball here or things could get ugly in the fourth.
Wow.
A lot of contact.
Right. A lot of contact, and those calls have been 50-50. Sometimes they've been called, sometimes they haven't been. So fortunately for Ashland, they did call that, and that is a foul. He that reach in and bumped him across the leg there. So Denbow's going to get to the line for two.
And Effie, like I said earlier, you got to think back to that first quarter, that 6-0 run on the fast break. You take those points away, and we're sitting at a 2-point game, and it's pretty scary.
Well, and the thing about the end of this game is, for Coach Hess, is he can look at and be able to show on film as Denbow knocks down the free throw there.
With this basket, Luke Denbow has become the all-time leading scorer in program history.
So with that basket, excuse me, my fact-checking must have been wrong. Luke Denbow now becomes the all-time leading scorer for the Ashland Arrows. I mean, just wow, what a career. And as you hear the crowd roaring, pouring it on for Luke Denbow, what a career, what a special player to watch. He could get it done in all facets of the game. They're going to give him the game ball, and I mean, just incredible play from Luke Denbow.
Well, and, if he was just a scorer, it would, it would still be great. It would be special for this young man, but the fact that he's such a great all-around player, and you watch this young man play defensively, the way he passes the basketball, the way he sets screens for his teammates, and he just does it all for this team, and that's what makes it even better to see a young man that's such a great all-around player and such a great teammate. Get those types of records is always great to see because when you're a scorer, that's expected, but he is a great all-around basketball player, and that makes it even more special for this young man.
What a terrific night for him and a terrific career as he's able to get that one to fall as well. Wow, Luke Denbow is a name you'll be hearing if you go to Ashland for a long time, I'm sure. He's still got a lot of games to continue his offensive prowess. Just wow.
Well, with as many Denbows as there are, he may want to try to score as many. Who knows what young Denbows are coming up. There's already 2 in the top 4. So he might want to try to stretch that out as much as he can.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that either. Just pouring it on a little, making sure,
Absolutely.
No little brothers or cousins can come take that from you.
Absolutely.
You'll always have that one, around holiday season when the family gets together. Hey, I have more points than you, so.
Right.
Ashland on offense, quick foul from Morrison with 41 seconds left to play here in the fourth. And down the stretch here, it seems like it's just going to be a free throw shooting contest for the Arrows.
Right. Well, and what's evident is West Holmes is not going to stop playing. So, this last 41 seconds could take anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes because West Holmes is certainly not going to stop playing.
Definitely not, as Sturry gets his first one to fall.
And Sturry has had a solid night as well tonight for him. He is right now 24 points on the night, and he has been really aggressive, has shot it well, and just has had a really good game.
Denbow now has it, 30 seconds left. I feel like all Ashland really has to do is dribble this one out as Sturry collects it. Now back up top to Denbow. 15 seconds here, kicks it back out, and the highlight of tonight definitely would be Denbow's scoring and able to move into first and all-time scoring for the Ashland Arrows. What a performance from him tonight. And that's going to do it here for the fourth quarter as time ticks out. The Ashland Arrows are victorious over the West Holmes Knights 76-66. Going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with stats as well as a player of the game interview, so make sure you keep it right here. But for now, you've been watching High School Hoops live and free on the OH Report.
Here we go now. Here we go now. Here we go now.
Instead of paying for some big-name spokesperson, Kasasa Checking gives that money back to you in cash rewards. In fact, it just bought me this cup of coffee. See how that works? Amazing! Free checking, cash rewards. Take back banking with Kasasa.
I got 2 feet on the ground, head flying in the clouds. It's just the little things, all of the little things. Hands up in the sky, it's all gonna be alright. It's just the little things, all of the little things. Oh, 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 oh. Love the little things, love the little things.
And where? What do you say? The exclamation point on the night for Maurice Ware.
I wish you happy, happy, happy New Year. I wish you happy, happy, happy New Year. You wish me happy, happy, happy New Year. You wish me happy.
Welcome back to Ashland High School, where your final was 76-66 in favor of the Ashland Arrows. Storm Blunchley joined, of course, by the illustrious Effie James. And Effie, West Holmes, a team that will fight right to the end.
Right, absolutely. It was, ended up being a 10-point win for Ashland tonight. They played well. Ashland really doesn't have much to hang their head about. They really played well, but this gritty team from West Holmes really made it a tough night for them. Both teams walk away from this game better than they were coming in. Ashland got tested tonight with a team that just would not quit, so they had to continue to execute down the stretch. And West Holmes showed their grit and toughness coming into, on the road, their first conference game. So a really competitive game, which we expected to get.
As we take a look at our final stats, like I said earlier, the final score 76-66 in favor of the Arrows. First, starting off with the home court Arrows, 11 points, 3 threes, 15 rebounds, 2 fouls, 7 turnovers, and converting on 4 free throws for West Holmes, 5 field goals, 3 threes, 10 rebounds. Excuse me, those are our halftime stats. Sorry about that. We're going to take a look at our final stats now. 23 field goals for the Arrows, 5 threes, 31 rebounds, 12 fouls, 14 turnovers, converting 16 attempts at the free throw stripe for West Holmes. 24 field goals, 8 threes, 16 rebounds, 15 fouls, 11 turnovers, 8 free throws. And Effie, it seems like the big difference tonight was that rebounding category.
Well, and the rebounding was huge, and Djurdjevic played a huge role in that. And also you can see the field goals, even though the made field goals are a lot. West Holmes attempted 60 field goals tonight as compared to 44 for Ashland. So they were really aggressive, just not a lot of shots falling for the West Holmes Knights tonight. But it was all about the boards. And, if we didn't have an all-time, the all-time leading scorer as our MVP, I'll tell you right now, I would put my vote in for Djurdjevic. His effect on this game tonight was as big as anyone. He got a tremendous amount of rebounds. He was able to finish around the rim. And then even defensively, he was a presence inside. So, great all-around game for the Ashland Arrows. And we're not even mentioning
Sturry,
Grayson Sturry, who was the leading scorer tonight with 24 points. He doesn't even get a mention in the postgame. But he had an outstanding night as well. Really aggressive, driving to the lane, shot it well tonight as well. So, a lot to be happy about if you're an Ashland Arrows fan. Great play. But also, again, if you're a West Holmes Knights and Coach Hall, he's got to be happy with the effort that he saw tonight.
That's going to do it here for our post-game show. We're going to be back with a player of the game interview whenever Mr. Denbow decides to join us. But for now, you've been watching High School Hoops live and free on the OH Report.
Instead of paying for some big-name spokesperson, Kasasa Checking gives that money back to you in cash rewards. In fact, it just bought me this cup of coffee. See how that works? Amazing! Free checking, cash rewards. Take back banking with Kasasa.
I got 2 feet on the ground, head flying in the clouds. It's just the little things, all of the little things. Hands up in the sky, it's all gonna be alright. It's just the little things, all of the little things. Oh, 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 oh. Love the little things, love the little things.
Standing here with our player of the game now, brought to you by Simonson Construction. Of course, who else but Luke Denbow had 21 points and broke the all-time scoring record in Ashland Arrow boys basketball history. I mean, just talk to me about how that has to feel.
Yeah, it's a real honor. Isaac White, he was the reigning scoring leader. He was a great player. I always looked up to him when I was little, and it's really an honor to be on top.
I mean, just to do it at home, you heard the crowd there for yourself. I mean, I don't know if I've heard a crowd that loud in a long time. Just talk to me about how it feels to get it done on the home court floor.
Yeah, Arrow Arena. I mean, there's a lot of history here for me, and it's great to get it here at Arrow Arena, and I love the fans. I mean, they're great to me, so I love to hear.
And season isn't over yet. You got a lot of OCC play. A big win here tonight by 10 over West Holmes. Just talk to me about the plans for the rest of the OCC season.
Yeah, we're just trying to build off this win. Just get to a point where we can get to the OCC title, get that, and then build off that into the tournament. So hopefully we keep building and we get to where we want to be at the end of the season.
And then last question for you. You got guys like Jurjevic and Sturry who can go out and get it done on any given night. I mean, just talk to me about how that feels to have teammates you can rely on. So, kind of takes a lot of weight off your shoulders in the scoring category.
Yeah, it's great to have Grayson on the perimeter. I mean, he's a deadly knockdown shooter. So, I mean, it's really easy to dish it to him and knock it down. And then Luke inside, I mean, he's a paint beast in there. So he gets all the rebounds, and I'm grateful for him. So it makes it easy on me.
All right, thank you very much, Luke. Go out and enjoy this one, and
Appreciate
a huge congratulations
to
you.
Thank you.
Yep, and that's going to do it here tonight for the OH Report crew. We've got a couple thank yous I need to get out of the way. A big thank you to Effie James, as he's my color guy tonight for the commentary side of things. Adam Thompson, of course, my fabulous director. Mason Neese of Neese Farms for locking it down on the camera. I want to take a second to thank of our sponsors as well: Simonson Construction, Sutton Bank, and Janney Montgomery. And of course, I want to thank you guys, the fans at home, for sticking with us through this harsh winter we've had here in Ohio. 50 degrees is always difficult, but thank you all so much for watching. And for one last time, on behalf of everyone at the OH Report crew, you have been watching high school hoops live and free on the OH Report.